What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taco Twans. If you guys are not subscribed already, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. So today we are on our way to RCI. We are going to pick up some parts for the Tacoma and for the 4Runner. If you guys don't know who RCI is, make sure you guys check them out. So RCI is known for their skid plates and for their rock sliders. So if you guys haven't seen our 4Runner already, our 4Runner is armored with Hefty Fabworks front and rear bumper, and then it has RCI skid plates from front to back. The only thing that is really missing are rock sliders, so that's the reason why we are going to go pick them up today. And then of course we're going to pick up some parts for the Tacoma. We're pretty much picking up everything that RCI offers as far as Under Armour for the Tacoma. So we will see you guys when I get there. Alright, so here we are, guys, at RCI. They're technically not open today. It's a Saturday, they don't go open on weekends. But they made an exception for me to come by and grab my parts. It's a little bit windy, so sorry about the noise, but I'm gonna step inside and grab the parts, and then we'll show you guys what we got. Alright guys, back at home now. Let me show you guys what I got here. So these are the A-arm skid plates, and then this is the transmission skid plate. Because I do have the Pro, so the front one I'm gonna keep the original TRD skid plate, and then this is the bracket. This black one is the bracket for this transfer case skid plate, and then the fuel tank skid plate, and then of course lastly the rear axle rear diff skid plate, and then of course all the hardware for it. So I've pretty much laid out how it's gonna look on the truck, and I went ahead and bought these guys right here, Rhino ramps, rated for 12,000 pounds. Got 2 sets of them. Okay, so I just laid the Rhino ramps on all 4 tires, just to make this job easier. I don't have to jack up the front and then jack the rear. So hopefully this will save me some time. This is gonna be my first time using these, but yeah, let's give it a shot. By the way, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram or Facebook, make sure you guys check out my next couple of videos. I'll be installing the Prinzu rack, and then of course my Stealth Custom series with the KO2s, 285 75 17s, but let's get to this one right now. Now that I got the truck up onto the ramps, I gave it a little shake just to make sure that it's not going to fall on me while I'm down there. So what I actually had to do was I had to throw this thing in 4-wheel low, so that way I can control the speed a little bit better to get up these ramps. So if you guys plan on using these for your install, make sure you guys have it in 4-wheel low, just so you can have a little more control of the speed. That way these things don't just shoot out from underneath. Thank you RCI for providing all of the instructions. Alright, I almost forgot. If you guys are planning to keep your original TRD skid plate, you guys will have to cut into that in order to fit the A-arms from RCI, just because they do touch each other. So you guys will need to trim the original skid plate. So I'm not gonna do that today. I'm gonna have my buddy who's gonna be doing all my suspension parts, which require cutting and welding anyways. I'm just gonna head and I'm gonna go ahead and just wait to do those as well. So today we're gonna be doing the rest of the skid plates, and hold off on the A-arms, right?
Okay guys, this is currently how it looks. So as you can tell, I've already hit the OEM skid plate a couple times. So these extra skid plates are definitely netly a must, for me at least. So this is where the transmission skid plate is going to sit, and then there's the rest. Step 1, loosen all the skid plates, that way the back drops down a little bit easier, and you'll see what I mean. So loosen the 2 fronts and then the 2 middle ones, and then the back we're actually going to remove. And here it is, there's 2 of them, here and here. So these are a 12, the back 2 are 12 millimeters, and the front 4 is a 17. Yep, 17. So once you remove it, we're going to be installing these, which are provided through RCI. They basically allow the OEM skid plate to extend further down, that way you can fit the RCI skid plate on top. Next step, we are going to be removing the crossbars here and here that protect the catalytic converters. So these are actually going to stay off the truck because the skid plate will be protecting the 2 catalytic converters once the skid plate is installed. Real quick tip, guys, when you guys remove the 2 bolts from the rear of the TRD skid plate, they have these little really thin metal kind of like a washer keeper or a bolt keeper that prevents the bolt from dropping all the way down. You guys can actually put that onto the new one, as you can see here, to kind of hold the spacer up. That way when you guys slide the transmission skid plate in, you guys won't have to need a second hand to hold that washer up while you move the skid plate in place. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean with this one. So here's the new bolt from RCI. We're going to put the bolt and then the washer on this side, and then with that little thin kind of, I don't know what they call it, but I'll just call it a bolt keeper. So I'm going to put that in first, and then put that bolt keeper on this side of the skid plate, and then just start to thread it. Once you have that started, grab your washer, or not your washer, your spacer, the black one, and then just put it on top of that, and then you're going to continue to hold the little bolt holder until you see the bolt come through to the other side of the spacer, just enough so you can thread it into the hole. Alright, so now that I have both sides in place, I'll show you what it looks like. So that's what it looks like with the little metal nut holder, or in this case, I guess it's a spacer holder since it's holding up the spacer. So there's that side, and there's the other side. Now we can move the skid plate up. There we go. And then we're going to grab the hardware. We're going to put it through there. Grab one of these. A washer. And then a lock washer. And then the nut. And then we'll do the same to the other side. So with these half moon backer plates, up here, it kind of sits like this. And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you're doing the install. Because this is kind of cutting off or sitting on top of this frame. So that's why it fits exactly like that. So on the other side, we're going to put it like that. Okay, now onto the transfer case skid plate. First thing we're going to want to do is remove this bolt from the holding the brake line. Now we are going to move the cross member up. Well, we're going to lift it up and then bolt it in place. So on the driver's side, where we removed that bolt where the brake line is, that's actually where the new bolt is going to go. So once we get it up, get it lined up. So on the driver's side, you can screw in the new bolt, but on the passenger side, we're going to need to use the bolt and a lock nut. Okay, guys, don't forget the washer like I just did. So yeah. Now, time for the skid plate for the transfer case. Now we just need to tighten it down. Once we got that tightened down, we're just going to tighten these ones here. And then we're pretty much done with the front part of this. Now onto the fuel tank skid plate. And there are 4 nuts that we have to take off, and they are 12 millimeter.
we're gonna grab our skid plate, line it up. And we're gonna grab our washer and lock nut. I'm just gonna start it by hand. Once you have all 4 nuts in, just tighten it. And then I always use a ratchet just to check how tight it is, just to make sure, because you can never know when you're using an impact gun. Alright guys, we are on the last part of the install, which is the rear diff skid plate. So, step 1, I'm going to put these brackets over here, over the axle. Okay, step 2 is if you guys have a jack, you guys want to put your rear diff skid plate on there and slide it in. Then just install the nut washer and the bolt washer and the nut. So the next part is to install the pinion support assembly. So we are going to swing this arm around here. And using the bolt, nut, and washer, we're just going to snug that real quick. Once you have these two on, we're going to slide this one just like that. Center the skid plate. I'm going to do washer, the lock washer, and then the nut. Now we're just tightening everything down and just make sure that this thing is centered.
Then we want the skid plate as far back as possible. So we will just pull on it. Tighten these guys down first.
Well, that's it, guys. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys leave it in the comments below. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.